Do you read it? Stop reading!
I read just the first couple lines,
Come
and I'm
on,
like,
Greg. I haven't even read the first couple.
It's so accurate.
Damn it.
I mean, let's just get into it. Hey guys, welcome back to sochoicepodcast, and we got a doozy this week.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Do all that. We've been pretty vocal about, like you guys sending in stuff to us that you guys want us to talk about, tier lists, discussion topics, whatnot. But never in a million years would I've ever thought that we received a fanfic. I received an Instagram DM about a week and a half ago, just with maybe the most detailed, lengthy fan fiction I've ever seen in my entire life. Granted, I'm not a Wattpad warrior. I'm not a veteran.
Oh, you hadn't read it yet.
I haven't. I'm not a veteran of the space. This is uncharted territory for me. I don't know if you guys have dabbled.
On Wattpad? No.
Or any kind of fan fiction.
I mean, no, my girlfriend's dabbled on Wattpad. She's definitely read some stuff.
Okay.
There was one thing. She said it was like her favorite one when she was in middle school. It was called Illegal My Ass. I don't know what happened in it, but
what is it a fan fiction of?
Just off name.
Oh, it's not fan fiction. It's just smut, basically, which is
well,
real Wattpad.
Is that the pipeline?
It's just a staple.
I mean,
what fan fiction isn't smut?
Yeah. I feel like fanfic is just like it's almost like the buffer before smut, and they kind of just do it so that they're not just like right into the mix, right?
Let me just say, I'm expecting smut in this fanfic. Like we're fucking each other.
None of us have read it. I have had this on my phone for, like I said, like a week and a half. Have held off reading it. The only thing I've seen is the marvelous cover that was so graciously supplied to.
Oh yeah. I'll put it up on the screen.
We're looking. It'll
be in the corner. I'll put it in the corner of the screen.
Yeah, this is another reason. If you're not already watching on YouTube, do it.
Yeah.
It really sets the stage, I hope. But
now, can you tell us? I mean, we don't have to include it, but can you at least tell us now who sent this in? Because you didn't tell us like anything.
Yeah.
You just said we have a fan fiction and then nothing, and we've been sitting on it for a week.
You told us it was somebody we know, but we probably haven't talked to in a while. And I'm like, I don't know what that could mean because like they specifically reached out to you,
guys. This
and
is the power
they reached out
of the
to you.
podcast.
They didn't have your name.
Yeah,
your
didn't
number.
have his number.
They reached out to you on Instagram because they didn't have your new number.
This is the power of the podcast, boys. Okay, I don't want to reveal a magician's secret. You know what I mean? Like, at the same time,
are you never gonna tell us?
So they're currently working on a sequel, and I don't want that to get to their head. I don't want all this fame and notoriety to get to their head, and it ruins the sequel. They go,
well, cut it out. We'll just bleep it, censor it.
We could do that.
Will you tell us after we read it at least?
Also, we want to reward people sending us in stuff.
Okay, I mean that's totally fair.
I feel like will it come down to how good it is?
I mean, it's
like
not
if it's shit, why are we gonna promote?
Just because we're saying the name, it's not we're giving a fucking like we're not giving a Pulitzer Prize, but like, I mean, yeah, I'll say it. Greg, bleep it out because I don't want this motherfucker getting again too big of a head until we get the sequel. Maybe it's a trilogy and he's got to work for it. All right, to get it unbleeped.
Okay. So it is a guy.
Yeah.
He said he.
Ready?
Yeah.
Not in a million years would I have guessed that.
All right. I guess it makes sense why he reached out to you. He's definitely your friend before he was
That's my dog.
Our friend.
That's my dog, dude.
Yeah. I would not expect him to be a great writer.
Well, this is AI.
So I will say, you know, like he might be like.
Also, that was just me.
He might be like a Greg Popovich, you know what I mean? But like, and this could be, or ChatGPT could be like his Tim Duncan, you know? He's just coaching. He's guiding.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. You know, I mean,
compared him to one of the greatest basketball coaches of all time.
Or he could be Steve Clifford, and this could be his Terry Rozier. You know, who's to say?
Way worse.
Yeah,
way worse.
But we don't know yet.
Okay.
I will say, I was out celebrating my birthday and my roommate's engagements like 2 weeks ago. So even before I got this, and out of nowhere, he follows our like Instagram account. I'm like, oh, interesting. And then I start getting bombarded with DMs. Maybe like 2 hours later.
That's so funny because we haven't posted on Instagram in so long.
It's maybe our worst.
We're gonna do it again, so make sure everyone gets on there.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah. We could share a lot of this, including the cover, on Instagram. So if you want to see it first, go follow.
Nice.
Yeah. But I say let's stop beating around the bush and let's get into it. Greg, I sent it to you. I'm designating you to be our journeyman, our pilot.
Is he our narrator?
He is.
Oh wow.
Do we have parts? Like, is this like a play?
This is long as fuck.
Can I read as John?
I don't know. This is where none of us knowing anything about this.
No, it's all told in the third person.
We're getting like
or second person.
The overarching
like passive voice. Yeah. Wow.
Greg,
I don't know. Do I just like start?
Greg is the voice of God. Let's hear.
Okay, so the title of this is The Choice.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Greg sat down in his usual spot, headphones in place, and did a quick check of the levels. Across the table, John was mid-conversation with Colin, laughing about something Greg had missed.
Oh, time out real quick. So for those at home, this is pre-move.
Yes, this is one of our.
This is like we're in person.
Yeah, this is like pre-time skip. So okay, so
and honestly,
it's season 3.
Greg was messing with levels, and me and Colin would just be chatting it up.
Yeah,
it's not necessarily. It doesn't say that you're here in person, but
you said across the table.
Across the table.
Across the table, John was mid-conversation with Colin. Colin doesn't necessarily mean he's across the table.
Hey, sorry. I'll shut up and let
yeah, but you don't check levels anymore.
No, but they were laughing about something that I missed, and so if I'm not here with the headphones on, I can't hear Colin. So we're getting too into the weeds. We're getting too into the weeds.
Inside baseball. Keep reading. Yeah, Sorry, go ahead.
The warm hum of pre-recording banter filled the room, a space that had become their second home.
This is your actual home.
That's true. This is my house. Yeah. So we're all good to go? Colin asked, his hand adjusting the mic in front of him. Okay, I guess Colin is in person.
Yeah,
he's here. Greg gave a thumbs up. John flipped through his notes, though Greg knew he rarely stuck to them. The spontaneity was what made John, and it was also what made him infuriatingly charming.
God damn,
that son of a bitch.
They nailed me like a glove.
All right, fellas, let's talk about today's topic, love and pop culture. Who's really the king of rom-coms, and why is it Paul Rudd?
Is that me talking, or is that you talking?
Colin kicked things off with his usual enthusiasm.
Wait, what was that? Paul Rudd?
I don't know, but it's a great topic for taking
Who's really the king of rom-coms, and why is it Paul Rudd?
I think it is Paul Rudd.
Shut the fuck up.
Nailed it.
All right, we're gonna table this for another podcast because that's a dynamite topic.
Well, I think they're probably gonna cover it here.
It's already getting so sexual. As Colin began, Greg caught himself watching John again, his strong, confident voice layering smoothly into the conversation. It wasn't the first time his thoughts had strayed. Ever since their late-night brainstorming sessions had become more frequent, there had been something.
Why is it always like this? Every fan fiction ever.
Maybe it was the close proximity. Maybe it was the casual touches as they passed each other drinks or switched places behind the mic. Or maybe it was just John's magnetic energy.
Could we also mention, I'm not sure what order we're sending these out, but in the last pod we recorded, Greg grabbed my thigh under the table. This is closer to truth than a lot of people might realize.
I mean,
don't do it again.
We're right next to each other. What do you want me from? Okay, Colin, meanwhile, had always been Greg's anchor. Steady, thoughtful, and with an unexpected wit that made Greg's heart skip beats more often than he cared to admit.
You slut! You lost both of us, Colin.
He was the calm to Greg's storm, the voice of reason in the group, always balancing John's chaotic humor.
Yeah, we always said that about you, Colin.
Yeah, right. By the way, this might be a little flipped right now. If we just swap John and Colin, I think we're aces.
Yeah.
Why am I the horny one?
I think you're the chaotic one, Colin,
yeah.
of the three of us.
You're ready, steady.
But then there was John, exciting, unpredictable, always challenging Greg to think differently. And lately, it had been harder to ignore how John's presence made Greg's heart race.
Damn, your heart is racing, it's skipping beats? I think you need a pacemaker, my friend.
Greg, you with us? John's voice pulled him out of his reverie. I can't read.
I love that you're just daydreaming about me and Colin.
Greg blinked and smiled, trying to mask the warmth creeping up his neck. Yeah, just think about how you're wrong as usual.
He's negging you,
I feel
John.
like these things are
He's
switched.
negging
I
you.
feel like I argue with Colin way more than I argue with John.
Dude, this is
well yet.
This is classic Helga from Hey Arnold strat. Okay, he's just negging you.
I mean, that is so true.
John laughed, that easygoing grin lighting up his face. Wrong? You mean right. Colin, back me up on this.
There's no way it says that.
I swear to God, this is Colin. Back me up
I
on
swear
this.
that comes out of Greg's mouth like every other day.
It's always one of us. All right, back me up on this.
Yeah, he's usually asking me to back him up.
Colin glanced between the two of them, his soft smile faltering for a split second, though Greg noticed. Colin always noticed. What?
Wait, I said
Keep
Greg
going,
noticed,
just
but then
keep going.
Colin all. It's fine. You guys are noticing things.
Anyway, the episode continued without a hitch, but Greg could feel a tension bubbling beneath the surface, something unsaid lingering between the three of them. After they wrapped, Colin was the first to pack up his gear, offering Greg a ride home like he always did. So we're not in my house anymore.
No, Greg, I'm just spinning you around the cul-de-sac. We're going around the block.
We're just gonna go around the. Yeah.
No, you guys are thinking about this all wrong. You're thinking that this is in the past. This is in the future.
No, what if it's season 1 at John's house?
Wow, there is no shot Greg was checking levels when we were doing a memo on my phone.
Also, wait, why? How did I get there? Why is Colin driving me home? How did I get here in the first place? Didn't I drive?
Yeah, and what gear were you bringing in season 1 episodes?
It's fine. I'm just saying it's.
All right.
I do think I was taking notes back then. Actually,
Were you?
I think so. Of like a couple topics that we wanted to cover.
So you think the guy who wrote this went back to like?
No, I think that this is completely generic
right.
podcasting.
All right, fair enough. You good, man? Colin asked quietly once they were alone, the car's engine humming as they drove through the quiet streets. You seem a little off today. Greg hesitated. I'm fine, just thinking about some things. Things like John. Greg shot him a look, but Colin didn't flinch. He never did.
I'm steel, baby.
You're so rock solid,
I'm
man.
steel.
I've seen how you look at him, Greg, Colin continued, his voice steady. It's okay, you know. I get it. Greg swallowed hard. Colin was always so perceptive. It's complicated. Doesn't have to be, Colin said softly, but there was a weight behind his words that Greg couldn't quite decipher. Just don't get lost in it, okay? Greg didn't reply, but the tension in the car was thick enough to choke on. And then there's a break.
How deep in this are we?
Yeah, I don't know. Like 25% maybe? I don't know.
God, all right.
25%?
Dude, that was Act 1, man. We're still rolling.
Mm-hmm.
That was awesome. It really sets the scene.
Wow. Colin, my confidant.
I'm really rooting for these kids.
I don't know what I'm
just
supposed
so
to do.
damn hot. I know it's gonna get in the mix.
I just don't know who I'm supposed to be rooting for. I'm not sure I want to root for Greg or John or Colin in this.
Greg, you've given me 0 reasons to root for you so far.
Yeah.
You are into. You don't know what you want.
Yeah.
I'm just a horny little boy. Over the next few weeks, Greg found himself caught between the easy camaraderie he shared with Colin and the exhilarating pull he felt towards John. Recording sessions felt like a balancing act. Colin's quiet concern and John's flirtatious banter were starting to blur the lines of their professional relationship.
We do have a very professional relationship.
Oh, I was gonna say flirtatious.
One evening, after a particularly late recording session, the three decided to grab drinks at their favorite dive bar. Colin was uncharacteristically quiet, nursing his drink as Greg and John sparred over a ridiculous topic about 80s action movies.
I don't know how many opinions we got going on.
I'm not
there.
nursing any drink.
Yeah, Colin's chugging a drink, and then he's definitely in this argument.
If they think Colin isn't instantly finishing his drink, they don't know Colin.
I mean, it does say Colin was uncharacteristically quiet.
Oh,
so that makes
You're
sense.
so pensive.
Yeah, you're being weirdly quiet.
what's on my mind?
You've got to be kidding me. Die Hard is the ultimate Christmas movie. It's not even a debate, John said, raising his glass in triumph.
I think we did do this on an episode.
Greg grinned. You're hopeless, man. Hopelessly right, John shot back, flashing that disarming smile again. Colin cleared his throat. Actually, I've always thought Home Alone deserved the title. Greg turned to him, surprised. Really? Colin shrugged, his lips curving into that small smile. Knowing Greg had always found comfort in it. I don't know, something about Kevin outsmarting all those adults feels like a Christmas miracle.
It sure does.
John laughed, but Greg noticed how Colin's eyes lingered on him before looking away. Okay, so Colin's into me and I'm into John? Is that what's happening
No,
here?
you're
Yeah.
into both of us, I think.
You don't know what you want.
Yeah.
Colin wants you. I don't know.
I'm just-
we don't know what
I
I
am
want.
so horny for John, apparently.
Yeah, you are.
Also, every time you mention something about like Colin's sweet, soft smile or something, Colin tries so hard not to smile.
That's not fair. I don't get to see it. I'm leaving. Holding in a frown.
Yeah.
Go as wide as possible.
Colin, your eyes are lingering on me. I can feel them.
I can feel him radiating.
Later, as they were leaving the bar, John offered to walk Greg home, leaving Colin to head off on his own. The night air was crisp, and the city lights painted a soft glow around them. Greg could feel the buzz from the alcohol, but more than that, he could feel the intensity radiating off John as they walked in comfortable silence.
God, I am a sex pistol. Absolute firecracker.
I'm picturing the cover right now.
Yeah.
I'm just... I don't know who was the hottest. I mean, honestly, I thought I was the hottest in that picture, but that's fine.
I thought I was pretty hot, man.
I was pretty hot.
We all had like the exact same build, but Greg had a beard
And headphones.
Colin had lighter hair.
Yeah, I was wearing headphones, which I feel like just comes from like that first line where I was like doing audio and stuff.
Yeah, but
Anyway.
you're the headphone guy.
I guess. So what's going on with you lately? John asked, casually, though there was an edge to his voice. You've been different. Greg stuffed his hands into his pockets, unsure of how to answer. I don't know. A lot on my mind, I guess.
You're so bashful.
John nodded.
I imagine like Greg did like the he's like kicked the air a little bit.
Yeah.
He's like
I'm kicking a rock down the sidewalk.
I don't
know. Just a lot on my mind, I guess. You know. John nodded, glancing over at him. I get it. I've been thinking too. About a lot of things.
Ooh.
Greg's pulse quickened, but before he could say anything, John stopped walking, turning to face him. There was a seriousness in his eyes that Greg hadn't seen before. You and me, Greg, we've always had this thing. I don't know what it is, but it's there, and lately, I've been wondering if maybe I'm not the only one feeling it.
God, we both want Greg, Colin.
Greg's heart pounded in his chest. This was the moment he'd been dreading and hoping for all at once. John, Greg started, but the words caught in his throat. John took a step closer, his hand brushing against Greg's arm. You don't have to say anything, just think about it. Axe break.
Greg,
Wow,
you
okay.
are phenomenal at reading. This is incredible. Like you
I
are,
know,
I feel like I'm there.
dude. It's
if I had
so
read this,
vivid.
if I had read this before, I would have done even better, man.
Me and Greg walking home from, I'm assuming, the Diamond.
Yeah, I'm thinking the diamond too. Yeah, of
I
course.
was picturing the diamond too. Just walking down Hebron Ave.
We'd stop under a streetlight.
Stop at the Rotary.
Wow, we did not make it far at all.
No, yeah, really quickly, man.
We like barely left the bar,
Colin's just driving past us now.
I gotta go back to Boston.
and we're just having a moment.
Oh man, this is exactly what I expect for like a fan fiction to be. How deep?
All right, so there's 5 acts.
Okay.
So we're on the 3rd one. So we're a little over halfway. I think the first couple were.
Aces.
The
I'm
ten-
locked in.
You could cut the tension with a knife right now.
I'm eating it up.
I appreciate your enjoyment of my reading style.
You're great. You are blowing me away as a
You're
narrator.
great. You're doing well.
The next day, Greg couldn't shake the conversation with John from his mind. It had confirmed what he'd been afraid to admit. There was something between them. But what about Colin?
What about Colin?
Later that afternoon,
I'm getting no screen time.
Colin called, asking Greg to meet up at the park.
I'm
When
so
Greg arrived-
desperate, bro.
Oh, dude, meeting at Addison? Come on.
It could be JB Williams. It could be JB Williams.
Okay, ready? When Greg arrived, he found Colin sitting on a bench, staring out at the lake, his expression unreadable. Hey, Greg said as he sat down next to him. Colin didn't look at him. I heard what happened last night between you and John.
How'd you hear?
Well, you told me, you son of a bitch. Clearly, you told me. You rubbed it in my damn face.
Greg's stomach dropped. How? I just know, Colin said, his voice soft.
You were running from the car,
yeah.
You son of a bitch.
You guys were at a rotary. All I did was just drive around in circles.
Also, I love that Greg is like the main character in this, and he's reading it. It's so good.
I just know, Colin said, his voice soft but firm. Greg, you're my best friend. I've known you longer than anyone, and I can't pretend I haven't seen this coming. Greg's chest tightened. Colin, I didn't mean... I know, Colin cut him off, finally turning to look at him, his eyes filled with something that made Greg's heart ache. I just need to know where I stand because I care about you, Greg. A lot. Greg's mind was spinning. Colin's words hung in the air, heavy with the weight of unspoken feelings that had been there all along. I care about you too, Colin, Greg said, his voice barely above a whisper. Damn it, I should have whispered that if I'd read ahead. Colin smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. But not like you care about John. Greg didn't know how to respond. He felt torn, like he was being pulled in two directions. And no matter which way he turned, someone would get hurt. Another act break.
Damn, just make a decision, man. I hope me and Colin get together after all this.
Greg's in a real 2 dates to the pod situation.
How long have you been sitting on that one?
3 seconds.
Nice. Got it out quick.
Mm-hmm.
In the days that followed, things between the three of them became strained. Recording sessions felt tense. The easy banter replaced with awkward silences and lingering glances. Greg could feel the weight of their unspoken emotions hanging over them, and he knew it was only a matter of time before everything came to a head. One evening, after a particularly difficult session, Greg found himself alone in the studio with Colin. John had left early, and the silence between them was suffocating. Greg, Colin said quietly, breaking the tension. We need to talk. Greg nodded, his heart pounding in his chest. I know. Colin took a deep breath, his eyes searching Greg's face. I don't want to lose you, Greg, but I can't keep pretending that I don't feel the way I do. Greg's throat tightened. Colin, I know you care about John, Colin said, his voice steady but filled with emotion. But I need to know if there's any part of you that feels the same way about me. Greg's mind raced. He cared about Colin more than he'd ever admitted to himself, but his feelings for John were just as real. Just as strong. I don't know, Greg admitted. His voice barely above a whisper. I don't know how to choose.
Damn it, man.
Colin smiled sadly. Maybe you don't have to.
I knew it was going to end with a 3-1.
We still got one more act, right?
Yeah, we're in the last scene.
I'm locked in.
We thought Greg was the horny one. Colin out of the clouds. Mr. Compassionate over here.
We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know.
For Greg, John, I will fuck you. If it makes Greg happy, I will do it.
Oh, man.
All right.
I love that our pod is just falling apart because we just want to fuck so bad.
Guys, today's tier list sucks. Greg, just fuck me already.
Colin, can you give us the room for 15 to 20 minutes?
We're doing a blind draft, right, Greg? Wink, wink.
Just trying to come up with topics.
Oh, all right.
Big finale.
Last scene. The next morning, Greg woke up with a sense of clarity he hadn't felt in weeks. He knew what he had to do. He couldn't keep stringing them along, couldn't keep pretending that things would work themselves out on their own. He called John and Colin, asking them to meet him at the studio. When they arrived, the tension was palpable, but Greg knew this conversation couldn't wait any longer. I've been thinking a lot about us, Greg began, his voice steady despite the nerves twisting in his gut. And I've realized that I care about both of you. Why is there's an ellipses in the middle of that sentence? I'm not really sure.
Don't worry about it.
I care about both of you, Greg continued, his voice wavering slightly as he stood in front of both John and Colin. But I also realize I can't keep you in limbo like this. You both mean so much to me, and this entire situation isn't fair to any of us. John leaned back in his chair, his expression thoughtful. So what are you saying, Greg? Greg swallowed hard, feeling the pressure of their expectant gazes. I'm saying that I don't want to lose either of you, but I need time. Time to figure out what my feelings really mean.
Suck, Greg.
Because the truth is, I'm not sure how to choose.
Oh, you suck! You absolutely stink! Colin, we deserve better.
So much better, John.
Colin, ever the calm one, nodded slowly. I can respect that, Greg. Apparently he cannot.
They don't know us at all.
I can respect that, Greg, but at some point, you're going to have to make a choice. And when you do, I'll be here.
The choice.
As your friend, if nothing else. John, on the other hand, looked torn. He was always more expressive, and it was clear he didn't like the idea of waiting. I get it, but I'm not sure how long I can keep doing this, John admitted, his voice softer than usual. I don't want to pressure you, but I also don't want to sit on the sidelines forever. Greg's heart clenched as he realized just how deep their feelings ran and how precarious the balance between their friendship and something more had become. I know this is hard, Greg said, his voice thick with emotion, but I need to be honest with myself and both of you. I just hope that whatever happens, we can still be us. There was a moment of heavy silence before John and Colin exchanged a glance. Colin was the first to break it, his expression soft but resolute. We'll figure it out, he said quietly, his eyes lingering on Greg, no matter what.
For the pod.
John sighed, running a hand through his hair before giving a small reluctant nod. Yeah, we'll figure it out. As Greg stood between the two men, he realized that for now they had reached a fragile peace. But deep down, he knew that the day would come when he'd have to confront his feelings head on and make a choice that would change everything. That's the end of chapter 1.
Wow.
We need more. You absolutely
Wow.
Greg.
Guys, I don't know you. I don't think this piece lasts very long.
Where was the character development? Greg started wanting both of us. He ended wanting both of us.
John, you developed the most.
I became very understanding.
Your feelings for Greg flourished to they unearthed themselves. I don't think you knew you were into Greg until Act 3, maybe 2.
And now here I am in this limbo.
Yeah, you're just
Colin,
as
you steady as ever. You're so stoic.
But I yearn so deeply. I'm willing to act stoic. I don't think I am. I think I'm on the brink.
I'm not really sure how to act right now.
Greg,
I'm
you
the
piece
bad
of
guy.
shit.
I know.
You piece of shit stringing us along.
I'm the villain of this story.
I can't believe Colin's threesome idea never got any legs.
Yeah, hold on. I mean, blank his name. The author. Don't blank it. The author asked for some feedback. I was like, I haven't read it yet. More smut.
Feedback.
More smut for chapter 2.
Mm-hmm.
More smut.
Yeah,
That's
I want to push somebody up against the wall,
too, right?
Yeah. I want to tear this tapestry down mid fling, you know?
Man,
Dude,
I don't know about you guys.
the Charlie Hunnam poster just gets torn, falls off the wall and floats slowly down onto the ground.
That would have been pretty funny if there was a third guy and it was Charlie Hunnam, in my dreams. I just couldn't get over how much I love him.
You don't need more men.
You don't need more men, you fucking
have
pussy.
more than you can deal with.
Yeah, you're just a little slut.
I know.
Oh, goddamn.
The cover art for this kind of gives you a real misleading thing because you think John's character's gonna be the main character.
Greg's in the side.
I'm in the back,
yeah.
but I'm the main character of this. It's kind of weird.
Well, so far, there might be a shift going on. We don't know how many layers is in this.
Well, they're only you're only
and-
hearing my internal dialogue though.
Oh, maybe episode 2 is from the Colin point of view.
Yeah, it rotates. The cover rotates.
That'd be cool. We need to tell that to
cool.
the author that maybe he should do that for the next few.
No, I kind of don't want. I don't want to interfere with his work.
Let the artist
he's doing
work.
great.
Yeah.
I don't want to change anything because I don't want to influence him.
That's true.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm noticing there's a lot of eye lingering going on since we.
I've been rubbing my own thighs like crazy this entire time.
Colin's alone, but he feels the hand on his thigh.
Yeah.
Colin's ready for a cold shower after this one.
Someone give me a cigarette.
God damn.
Colin's just gonna go for a long walk under the moonlight.
This is exactly what I was expecting from a fanfic.
So I don't know about you guys, but Send in more fanfic. This is great.
Well, I don't know how many.
Just send it to my personal email, colin.sencock@gmail.com.
The smuttier, the better.
If it doesn't have throbbing in it, I don't think Colin wants to read it.
Oh,
Damn, I don't know where to go for that. I'm like exhausted
Dude.
from that. Like, I feel like I just went on a ride.
I don't know. Did you guys have like a favorite part of it? Because I liked the scene where we were all picturing it like at the Diamond, the bar, and then like us leaving the
It
Diamond.
was just so vivid, Greg.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, you're in Colin's conversation to the park was it was really something. I really wish something more came of that. It really did not move the needle at all for you.
Dude, Colin's a
one way or the other.
pushover. Colin's a pushover for Greg.
You're trying to be like the good guy, the white knight, you know?
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
I see right through you, Colin.
I'm surprised neither one of you kissed me. I thought John was gonna kiss me at the roundabout.
Yeah, I for sure thought.
Like
In front of everybody.
I thought. Hang on, where was it?
We're gonna plant one on you in front of God and Colin, who's looping around in circles. I also favorite part is that Colin never explained how he knew.
I'm telling you, my
conversation.
headcanon is that we're the Diamond. You guys were walking like near the roundabout, and I'm driving home, and I see you guys talking. And I go, "What the hell?" And I start driving around the roundabout.
And we don't notice.
Yeah.
But literally, John took a step closer, his hand brushing against Greg's arm. You don't have to say anything, just think about it. I really thought he was going to kiss me there.
If I know John like I know John in this context, he goes in for the move.
That's Smooth
all right?
City.
Yeah. I thought he was just gonna take me, have his way with me. I thought he was just gonna dip me and kiss me right then and there.
What's Hope up to in this story?
I assume I'm single. I don't know. For the studio scenes, were you guys picturing my basement right here? Because
Yes.
I was.
Yeah.
So my prediction, next episode, we're gonna get at least one scene where Greg is kissing one of us, and then the other one walks in.
I have to, right?
But like the other one catches Greg in the act before Greg can tell
Who do you
him.
think I'm gonna kiss though?
John.
I think so too. Just because Colin's character would be the character that like walks in and goes like, his heart is gonna break, but he's gonna put on a brave face.
Do you think I have like flowers in my hand? And I drop them?
Yeah. Oh my God, yes. Dude, he sees me. He sees us through the window before he actually comes in. And he just leaves. And I walk. And when you're leaving, we find stomped on flowers on my front step.
All right, I'll be real. It's probably. I think the way the story thinks about it is that we have our own recording studio, and I'm imagining it like it's an actual like recording studio where like there's the glass, and you like I walk into the room and you guys are just like in the recording booth, just making out.
Yeah.
I just think John's character would have his way with me a little bit more than Colin's character.
Yeah, he's a bit more.
Colin would wait until I make a decision. John would make that decision.
He's too respectful, you know.
Yeah. John's gonna make the decision.
I'm gonna take the initiative, you know.
Mm-hmm. I really thought when I was reading it, I fully thought you were gonna kiss me at the roundabout. There's no roundabout in this story, but there was a roundabout.
We can read between the lines here, guys. Well, do you guys have a prediction?
I honestly predict there won't be a decision made.
I think there's just gonna be 3 parts, and part 3 ends with a death.
A death?
Mm-hmm.
Someone's gonna die?
Mm-hmm.
Who's gonna die? Are you guys gonna kill me for not making a decision?
I don't know. John and I can come together, and Greg could spiral.
There has been no lingering eyesight between you two.
I don't know. I alluded to the fact that I'd be down to fuck John also.
Let's reread that. I'm gonna reread that.
What if me and Colin bond over our passion over Greg? You know, that's like our thing we have in common.
You're stringing us along, and we're like we have that in common together.
That's fair.
We just need a shoulder to cry on, because the person who knows what we're going through the best
is each other. Oh,
is this real?
Oh my God!
Let me go back to where we think Colin was up for at 3-some. I want to reread something. Okay?
Yeah. I love this book club, and it's just fan fiction about it.
It's about ourselves.
Should I reread that whole scene, or we all know we were on the bench and stuff? I'll go to just the conversation.
I pictured Colin sitting there with like some bread that he was feeding geese.
Oh wait! This isn't on the bench. Wait a second. Where are we?
No, it was that maybe you don't have to choose.
Guys, do you think we should send this to our homeroom teachers?
What?
Look at us. Do
you think we're still in homeroom?
Look at look at 3 of your kids from 10 years ago. Look at us now. Someone gave us a fanfic of all of us being into each other.
Okay, so no. On the bench, this wasn't when Colin brought up the threesome. Okay, the threesome happened. The threesome
No, it
maybe
was
bringing
back
up
in the
happened
studio
in the
when
studio.
John left early.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, right. You guys had too many conversations without me. I had no one-on-one
I'm
time
a
with
talker,
Greg.
man.
Colin's like my best friend apparently in this, and that's why it's so hard. But I just wanted
a piece of ass.
to jump your bones, John. You know? All right, hang on. So,
Maybe Colin's just not attractive enough for you.
What the fuck, man? I'm plenty attractive for Greg.
he's too white collar
Right,
for
Greg?
me, man. I need a bad boy. I need more of a bad
John
boy.
is the bad boy.
All right, so Greg, we need to talk, he says. Greg nodded, his heart pounding his chest. I know. Colin took a deep breath, his eyes searching Greg's face. I don't want to lose you, Greg, but I can't keep pretending that I don't feel the way I do. Greg's throat tightened. Colin, I know you care about John, Colin said, his voice steady but filled with emotion, but I need to know if there's any part of you that feels the same way about me. Greg's mind raced. He cared about Colin more than he'd ever admitted to himself, but the feelings for John were just as real, just as strong. I don't know, Greg admitted, his voice barely above a whisper. I don't know how to choose. Colin smiled sadly. Maybe you don't have to. He didn't smile like slyly. Maybe you don't have to choose.
Damn, dude. Maybe it's like maybe you don't have to do because Colin's about to bow out.
I feel like that's what it is.
Am I getting friend-zoned by my actual friend?
Yeah, I think you are. I don't think there's a threesome. When we first read it, maybe you don't have to. We all were like, "Oh, a threesome, that's what it is." But Colin smiled sadly.
I think Colin might be like backing out, just letting me and Greg.
No, because then I took Greg to the pond.
No, the pond happened before.
No, it happened after.
No, our pond conversation was right after John and I had our thing, and you were like, "I just know about it." Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
But after this, we did all have a conversation in the studio after a bad episode, which we don't do.
Yeah,
clearly.
Part 5 is when we had a conversation.
And then you said that you were willing to wait. So I guess, I mean,
I'm torn up, man.
Greg is just playing us like a fiddle.
All right, so yeah, at the end, Colin was the first to break the silence. His expression soft but resolute. We'll figure it out, he said quietly. His eyes on Greg, no matter
Colin,
what.
Don't. That is such like a.
And then John follows it up with, "Yeah, we'll figure it out." But it seems like Colin's more
I bet
like,
John's
it's
happy
fine.
about it. That smug asshole.
Whoa, where's that coming from?
You have what I want.
Wait, Colin. Here's another quote. Here's another quote, Colin, from the story about how I think you're backing off a little bit here. Colin, ever the calm one, nodded slowly. I can respect that, Greg, but at some point you're going to have to make a choice, and when you do, I'll be here as your friend, if nothing else. You're already resigning the fact that if I choose John, you want to be a part of my life.
You're cool with it. I never said that.
Yeah.
If John picks you, I'm out.
Yeah, John might abandon us. I think. I don't
know. Kiss all this goodbye.
Arthur, change this shit. Make me cooler. This is bullshit.
Guys, I don't know if I can wait for a second part.
Then just kiss him already, man.
All right, so John, on the other hand, looked torn. He was always more expressive, and it was clear he didn't like the idea of waiting. I get it, but I'm not sure how long I can keep doing this. Colin's like, I'll do this forever. You can just be like, I'll just be your friend. I'll bury these feelings. John's like, I can't bury these feelings forever, man.
For me.
I think Colin loves you more than I do. I think I'm just
100%.
I can move on.
Yeah, Colin loves me. John's just like, he wants to fuck me and I'll fuck him back.
This is real like Nickelodeon show vibes where like Greg's like the leading lady and I'm like the male lead who's like the friend, but like is really
he's
Chase.
Zoe,
it's Chase and Zoe
101.
I'm Chase.
Yeah, you're Chase.
Yeah.
They end up together.
Yeah,
wait, no,
eventually.
Oh, yeah.
When they redid the show, like
when Zoe got pregnant,
new version. No, but like the reunion or whatever. What was they like redid the show?
They did do an extra
They
season
did, but it ended with them
adults.
together. So they ended with a kiss.
Yeah. Who are you, Logan? Do I just want to jump your bones or something?
I'm hot.
Yeah.
Who do I end up with? Like the nerdy chick, right?
Yeah, but she's hot too.
Yeah, Quinn. I think her name's Quinn.
I think we're all winners here.
Maybe.
Dude, I'm so excited for another part of this. This is way better than I initially thought, and I had high expectations.
Really? This was better than you thought?
Dude, it's so funny. The one person to read this prior was John's girlfriend, and she got mad at Greg when she finished it. And now I know why. He's a real piece of shit.
She's like, I hate you after reading this. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I am the villain in the story. I mean, it makes sense why she would hate me. I'm just stringing both of you along.
You have shown me zero redeemable qualities through this entire time.
Yeah, why are we both so into you?
Like, Colin has shown, like,
Have you seen my beard?
Guy.
Have you seen my beard? I look hot as shit in that picture.
Yeah, but you're also wearing fucking headphones all the time like you're a goddamn streamer. Take them off. Let's see your fucking headphone dent.
Those things are crazy, by the way. Like, people who actually have a dent in their skull.
Not the skull, but I used to get crazy headphone hair when I had like my like max Call of Duty sessions.
I can't picture you with like hair that is long enough to have that.
It wasn't. It was
you don't seem like you don't seem like you have hair that would like stay in a certain form. I don't feel like you get hat hair very much.
I get very much hat hair.
I get hat hair.
I feel like Colin's got the hair where like right at the back it just sticks right.
Oh, you got a nice cowlick back
I used
there?
to, yeah. That was a good, John. Hey, good call. I used to, 100%.
How'd you get rid of that?
I don't know. I just matured.
Your hair changes like
He matured.
Okay.
I wonder if how old do you think we are in this? Do you think we're our ages, or do you think this is in the future?
Like 2
or
years
is it
ago.
like 2 years ago? We're all 25.
Yeah.
And horny as hell.
Yeah.
Horned up.
Makes sense.
I gotta say, I'm kind of like looking at you guys a little differently. Right, this does make me like you a tiny bit less.
Right? Yeah. John, I was thinking the same thing. Like, I like genuinely like. I think I like Greg less after this. I think worse of him.
It did not do you any favors.
I think you did too good of a job reading it.
But also,
I made you guys feel the emotion.
Yes.
So I don't like Colin quite as much because I feel like I'm competing with him now.
John,
Like,
I didn't want to say it, but I've been kind of sizing you up.
I feel like Colin's a little bitch.
If I don't end up with Colin, I fucking hate you, Colin.
Wow. Then I'll see you in hell, bitch.
Like if I end up alone at the end of the story, I'm gonna be very upset. This could be the end of the end of the pod.
What if the story ends with me getting neither of you, and the whole podcast and the story just breaks up? What happens then?
Honestly, that's probably the most realistic thing. Seeing how your character
is a monster,
can't decide.
Yeah.
There needs to be like a side scene where like I can't choose like what drink I'm gonna get at the bar. You know, that'd be good. Like I just can't make decisions.
You know what you're missing?
Really build my character up.
You're missing like another side character best friend where you're like bouncing all these ideas off and they're trying to give you advice.
Yeah, Greg,
true.
what if your girlfriend is like your like chatty best friend instead of like your
is your gay best friend?
Yeah.
Except in this scenario, he's gay and she's the straight best friend.
Yeah.
I mean, if the author puts that in there, it would make sense. Okay. It would make sense.
I'm so excited for part 2. I hope that this came across well for like the listeners too.
And if it didn't, go fuck yourself. This was great. Okay, I'll be so
great. Okay,
you did great.
Wait, Colin, you did talk to him though, right? And he is writing a second part.
There is a part 2 in the works.
Okay, fantastic.
This is awesome.
Yeah,
he can make it as long as he wants it. I'll make sure I drink a lot of water, and I'll get ready for my reading.
Nice. La 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 la.
We're just gonna start the next episode with me like. I don't actually know any of those things, but
Peter
packed a pickled
peppers.
Yeah.
I think that's it, guys. I think we can wrap it up.
I think that we can do it. That'll do it for us this week. Make sure you guys follow us at sochoicepodcast, all social media. Email us in stuff like this. It can be other stuff. Email us at sochoicepodcast@gmail.com. We're streaming on Twitch at sochoicepodcast. And download this episode like 20 times. Give us some views. Like everything you see. And we'll catch you guys next week.
Peace. Choice.